What's going on, my Jack brother? Coach Scott here, and today we're talking about how hard you should train to gain muscle. And I'm going to share how you can train even harder in a smarter way to keep you making progress for decades to come. Today's topic was inspired by a great comment that I received from Patrick on a recent video where I shared some general guidelines based on the recent body of research about how many sets you should perform per muscle group per week if you want to build muscle faster. And Patrick's comment, he shared that I can't tell anyone how many sets that they should perform. They just need to train hard, eat good food, sleep well, and listen to their body. As I always say, you need to take research with a grain of salt. Oftentimes, the way these studies are carried out is not how we would carry out our training in everyday life. It's not real world applicable. And oftentimes, the subjects in these studies are not similar to you. They're not your age, they haven't been training for as long, they don't live the same kind of lifestyle as you do. So you need to take that into consideration as well. But this research, it's there to guide us. It's there to intrigue us. It's there to give us something to experiment with a heightened sense of awareness to see how our body responds to that and make adjustments based on our own body's feedback. Very much like Patrick said in his comment, you need to learn to listen to your body. So you need to have an open mind with all of this. You don't take research as gospel. You take that research, apply it to your lifestyle, and listen to the feedback that your body's been giving you. There's definitely some bros that come across who get too caught up in the research and they take it as gospel. And they figure if I'm doing the number of sets that it says I should do in the research, that's all I need to do to grow. But they're not putting in the effort required to stimulate that growth response. Oftentimes I'll see them trying to push the volume even more and more, yet they're pacing themselves throughout the workout in order to survive that kind of volume. That's why you hear some physique coaches argue against high volume training, saying that if you can do that many sets in the workout, there's no way you are giving your absolute best effort. You're basically coasting through the workout, punching the clock, putting in some work, but it's not your absolute best freaking effort. Otherwise, you wouldn't last through the workout. And they'd say that the number of sets required to actually stimulate muscle growth, make muscle gains, is a lot less than you think if you are giving your absolute best freaking effort. We're talking gun to the head, could you do one more rep? Or if I offered you $1 million to do one more rep, could you do it? How many sets throughout your workout are you putting in that kind of effort? I can tell you from what I'm seeing out there, most people are not putting in that kind of effort for any of their sets ever. And how many sets absolutely scare the crap out of you in anticipation of performing them? When you're resting between sets and you're feeling nervous as hell because you know the kind of effort that you're gonna be putting into that set. How many of those are you experiencing throughout the workout? And how many of those kind of sets can you actually perform before you reach the point where I'm done with this workout, I can't handle anymore? Like I said, most people are not coming anywhere near that level of effort with any set that they're performing through any of their workouts. And research proves us how poor we are at gauging when we reach that point of momentary muscular failure. So they'll ask the subjects, like, stop when you think you can't do anymore. And then they'll bring a trainer in for the next set who's pushing them, getting them to dig deep and work through that pain, work through that burn, and try to get everything out of them that they have, and they're able to pull out so many more reps than they could the previous set. We absolutely suck at working through that pain, at flipping that switch in our mind, going to that happy place, digging deep, and giving our absolute best effort to those sets. And again, I ask you, how many sets with that kind of all-out freaking effort could you perform in a single workout? I mean, not every set is going to be balls-out effort. We need some warm-up sets, some workup sets in there, but we want a quality training session where most of our effort is all-out freaking effort. I'll give you an example. Like yesterday, I trained legs, started off with the leg curl, nice, super light and easy first set, nowhere near failure. Next set, bumped up the weight, trained up to the point where I left about 1 rep in the tank. So that was an effective working set. It challenged me, bumped up the weight a little bit more. This set kind of scared me a little bit. Isolation exercises don't scare me quite as much, but I knew this was going to be my absolute best effort, and I freaking crushed it. Like, you could have not paid, like $1 million would have not gotten me to do another repetition. I even finished off with a little bit of partial reps at the end there. And I wanted to do one more set there. I knew I wasn't going to be able to, like, hamstrings are feeling fatigued after that. I reduced the weight a little bit, probably about 10%, and I still wasn't able to hit the number of repetitions that I did that previous set. I knew the leg curl was done at that point. Next, I moved on to the leg curl, and the bigger compound movements like this usually require a couple more warm-up sets. So nice and light, just get a feel for the movement. You don't need as much rest in between those sets where you're stopping well short of failure. So just moving through that warm-up pretty quickly, then get to that first like real working set there where I left a rep in the tank. And on the leg press, like 1 rep in the tank, it's an exhausting, freaking challenging set. And I find like with compound leg movements like that, I need some serious rest in between sets. So looked at 3 to 4 minutes rest before I was fully recovered, before really giving my freaking all out best effort. And I knew with that set of leg presses, like if I attempted to do 1 more rep, that whole stack was coming down on me. So I stopped at that point, and that was exhausting. I was freaking fried from that set. I'm like, I'm gonna try 1 more. And I gave myself a full 5 minutes rest. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to lift that same kind of weight. I dropped it 40 pounds, so close to 10% of the weight. And again, wasn't able to hit the reps that I did on the previous set, even with the reduced weight. And I kind of knew like, leg press, that's done. My legs are just smoked from that point. So then I hobbled over to the leg extension. Didn't need a warm up there. My legs were definitely beyond warmed up. I actually had to give myself a lot of time to recover after the leg press there. So first set was just leaving 1 rep in the tank, which is a good, hard working set. Second set, absolutely freaking everything that I got. Again, pay me $1 million, there's no freaking way. I did actually some partial reps at the end, so it was freaking everything that I had to that second set there. Reduced the weight a little bit and wasn't able to get anywhere near where I could that second set of leg extensions. I just knew at that point, any more leg workout, just forget it. Like I would checked out. Like it wouldn't have been effective. Like ask me to do lunges, ask me to do a Romanian deadlift, I mean, it would have put my lower back at risk. My legs would have been shaking too much there. So I knew that was it. I mean, 3 exercises, leg curls, leg press, leg extension, done. Like you don't need a whole bunch of exercise. You don't need a massive amount of volume to tax those muscles. Later on that day, brought Chief for a walk. My quads were freaking cramping during that walk. Felt the soreness almost immediately. There's no delayed onset muscle soreness with that workout. I was feeling soreness right away. Today, ouch. And again, you may not think that's much. You may think that's low volume and that I need to do more sets to gain muscle. But when your sets are high quality sets where you're giving your all out effort, you don't need to do as many sets. And I'm gonna be training legs again 3 days from now, and those sets are all going to be quality sets where I'm able to give my best effort and get the most out of that training session rather than trying to cram in even more into one training session, like high volume, they're doing more exercises where any more than what I did right now, like I said, it would have been lower quality sets. I wouldn't have been able to give the best of myself. I would have been mentally checked out. The form would have been poor. I would have been shaky. I would have been concerned, nervous about injury at that point. So I would not be able to get the most out of that training session. You reach that point in a workout where it's diminishing returns. Any more effort, you're not getting any more gains out of it, and it can actually be detrimental if you continue pushing through it. So you really need to know your limits. You push yourself hard and you stop at that point where you're like, you know what, if I try to do any more, the quality is gonna be going downhill. I'm not gonna be able to give the best effort to those sets. And this ties into a great conversation we had in the Jacked at the 40 Club earlier this week where we're following an upper lower push pull leg split. And the member mentioned like during the push workout, we start with chest, then shoulders, then triceps, that by the time they get to triceps, their triceps are smoked, they don't have much left in them, and they're just mentally checked out. The workout's been long enough that they're not focused anymore. So there's a few options that we have here. First of all, your triceps are smoked because they do get involved in the chest portion of the workout. So you may not require any tricep work. I do like to have some direct tricep work just to make sure that we are tapping into every single muscle fiber. But like you may be fine with just one tricep exercise. Chest, if it's 9 sets, maybe you can get away with just doing 6 sets of chest. That's gonna shorten your workout because like they mentioned that, well, maybe I should move the triceps earlier in the workout, maybe before the shoulders, but the length of the workout is still going to be the issue. You don't wanna be mentally checking out, thinking to yourself, oh my God, I just gotta get through this. Because like they said, it's not, the quality is poor at that point in the workout. So you're best to know yourself. How many hard sets do you have in you in a workout where you know you're gonna, like, once you reach a certain point, if you are mentally checking out, like, you're done that workout. So you need to learn for yourself. That's what we do a lot in the Jack Death 40 Club. That's why all the members, they're sharing their experiences. Take the workout that I'm following for this month and make it their own by either eliminating an exercise, maybe adding abs in for a certain workout, maybe just making subtle little changes to the plan to make it their own, to suit their lifestyle, suit themselves. Because that ties into like what Patrick said, like, you can't just program how many sets that works for me may not be how many sets is going to work for you. We all respond to volume a little bit differently. And again, it comes down to the effort. Clearly, this member is giving all that they freaking have to their workout, to all the sets in the beginning of their training session. They reach that point where they're physically fatigued, mentally fatigued, and it's just time to, like, your workout's done. Don't try to do more. It's not more, I've got to get this volume in here, I've got to hit this number of sets or I'm not going to grow. It's not the number of sets, it's the quality of sets that you're performing. And it's important to note when you are having that heightened sense of awareness with how many high quality sets seem to work best for you, that you have in you for each and every workout before you start reaching that point of diminishing returns and your sets become poor quality, that it is your average training session where you are feeling normal. You're having your normal kind of energy day, not comparing it to a day where you may have slept like crap the night before, you may have had a stressful day in the office where you're distracted throughout your workouts. I mean, those days are going to happen, but on average, when you are on your game, how many sets can you perform in a workout? And this ties into how you can train harder in a smarter way that's going to allow you to make more muscle gains for decades to come. And number one is sleep. I tell you all the freaking time, you gotta prioritize your sleep. When sleep is your top priority and you are feeling well rested, not only is your mood going to be elevated, your testosterone level is going to be elevated, you're gonna be able to perform your best, give the best of yourself to your workouts and to all that you do. And you're gonna have better mental clarity during the workouts. You're gonna have a better mood towards your workouts. Everything is going to be so much better when you prioritize your sleep. You also want to make sure that you are managing your stress well, because that can have an impact on your training session, especially when it comes to your focus. And you want to make sure you are dialing in your diet. So this is, again, like Patrick brought up some very insightful thoughts there. I mean, train hard, eat good food, and sleep. This and more than anything, learn how your body responds. So Patrick, you freaking nailed it there. You're having that heightened sense of awareness with all that you're doing. This is freaking key. Now, you want to take it to the next level. So sleeping well, eating great food, managing your stress, training hard, giving all out effort. How can you give even better effort? How can you last a little bit longer through the workouts? One option is to consume an intra-workout drink. So I have done this in the past. I'm going to be experimenting with it again in the very near future, where I would have a carb drink and I'd have a carb and protein combination there. So at the time I experimented the last time, I was using Vitargo as my carb source, so a scoop of that with a scoop of protein powder in that, and I would sip on that during my workout. Now, if you're in fat loss mode, it's tough again to have your energy to really push through the entire workout. So this can come in handy. I recommend that you wait 30 minutes into the workout before sipping that drink. You want to make sure that you're really getting that fat burning process going, that your body is utilizing fat throughout that workout before sipping that carb drink. But if you're in muscle building mode, I'd start sipping on it right away throughout the workout. So that is going to allow you, whether it was placebo or not, because I mean, a lot of times your energy is going to come from your pre-workout meal more so than what you're drinking during the workout. But I did notice that for those few months that I was consuming that combination of the carb and the whey protein in that shake, I was able to give more of myself to that training session. I was able to last a little bit longer, do more of my hardest, best sets because of that intra-workout drink. So that is something for you to try. Again, prioritize sleep more than anything, manage your stress, eat quality food all the freaking time, and give your best effort. And again, have that heightened sense of awareness. Those things are key. Then work in this intra-workout shake. And if you want to train even harder, you don't have to necessarily add more super hard sets in there. You can take those super hard, all out freaking effort sets to the next level, like I did with the partial rep, like finishing with partial rep. So I performed that set. I couldn't have done another full rep with quality form. And again, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. Like, we're not talking about gun to the head, $1 million, do one more rep, but you're like bench pressing and you're using freaking, no, it's like still pushing hard with good quality form all the way throughout. So those sets, like I was, again, $1 million, I couldn't have done another full rep with quality form, hard pushing out everything I got. So I finished with partial reps. You can also do drop sets at the end of that. So you already just, it's already your best freaking effort. You gave everything you had to that. Reduce the weight, do another set, as many reps as possible. Reduce the weight again, as many reps as possible. Reduce the weight a third time, as many reps as you can as possible. Or another time, you can use extended rest pause sets, and you can make it as freaking disgusting as you want. So you're doing, let's say, for example, lateral raises. You finish that third set, you're finishing with partials. That's freaking awesome. Let's take it another step further. Rest for 10 seconds. Do as many more reps as you can with that same weight. Rest for 10 seconds. Do as many more reps as you can. Rest for 10 seconds. Do as many more reps as you can. Keep going until you're like resting like 5 to 10 seconds and just doing partials at the end. Just take it to as freaking beyond failure as it possibly can in a safe, effective way. You can do mechanical advantage supersets. Earlier this week I did, that's what we're doing this month in the Jacked at the 40 Club. Start with the cable fly. You can't do another rep with that weight. Bust into the cable chest press. It's a mechanical advantage. You can use that same weight and just keep cranking away, tapping into muscle fibers that you wouldn't have touched if you had just stopped at the 8 to 12 repetitions for the cable fly. So extend sets safely beyond failure, and true failure where you gave it your absolute best effort. So I encourage you to focus more on the quality of your workouts, giving the absolute best of yourself to that training session, having more sets where you are absolutely giving your best freaking effort. You couldn't possibly do any better. Ask yourself at the end of each workout, did I give my best effort? Could I have done any more? And when you reach that point of diminishing returns where the quality of your sets are starting to deteriorate, your workout is done. So you're gonna find your workouts are done quicker, but they are going to be more quality workouts than you're putting in right now. It's actually going to beat you up less as well, because you're not trying to force through more sets just to hit a certain volume number, a certain number of sets. You're just giving the best of yourself to that training session and then trying to improve upon it each and every time you're in there. Then you're going to reach a point where you're going to have to take a deload, you're going to have to dial things back. That's the best for you in that moment, and then ramp it back up again. So I hope this video inspired you to step up your game and take your training to the next level, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want some more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. More than anything, I'd love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your insights, share your feedback, and before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Jacked After 40. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you in the next video.